Hi. Whilst we're all staying at home and staying safe with our children, some parents will be worried about whether they're stimulating their baby enough, whether they're getting enough opportunities to explore the environment, because you can't go out to those normal places where you would normally meet other people and find those new activities. Can I firstly say you're doing the best thing for your baby by staying at home. It's what we all need to do at the moment to stay safe. And you're probably doing everything that you need to be able to stimulate and help your baby. The most important thing is for baby to feel loved and connected, and that's exactly what you're doing. We've got some activities that might help you put a bit of routine into your week and give you some things that you can do and help you bond with your baby as we're going along, and it helps their learning and development. So the first one we're going to do today, it's aimed at 0 to 6 month old. No, it's not. It's aimed at 0 to 12-month-old babies. Obviously, within that age range, there's a massive difference between a newborn and 18-month-old baby. So we'll look at the different stages and how you adapt the activity. And it might be that if you've got a slightly older child with developmental delays, then you might be able to adapt the activity for them as well. So it might be suitable for slightly older children with additional needs. So the thing we're going to look at today is a treasure basket. Now, a treasure basket is it's a box or a basket or a bowl. It doesn't really matter what the container is. And you put inside it some things for baby to explore and discover. Now, they're going to be everyday things that you're going to find around the house, but things that baby wouldn't normally come into contact with. So, for example, I've made up one today that I would put together from things from the kitchen. So today I have got a lemon squeezer. I've got a wooden spoon with a nice rubbery silicone end. I've got a metal whisk. I've got a rolling pin, a wooden rolling pin, a metal spoon, and a pastry brush that's got nice bristles on the end, and a silicone garlic peeler. So they're all things that babies wouldn't normally come into contact with because they're things that we cook with in the kitchen. But actually they've all got really interesting shapes and they feel different. Obviously the metal things are going to feel different to the wooden things, and there's different colours and textures. So it's really nice things for the babies to be able to explore. Excuse the sound of the tractor going by. Be able to explore and discover. And they're safe, so they're safe to put into their mouth, they're safe for them to feel, there's no sharp objects there for them to hurt themselves on. But it's quite nice for them to find something different. So the way we use treasure baskets, I'll go through the different ages and how you do it slightly differently for each one. The important thing to remember is it should be baby-led. So whilst they need constant supervision, this is not one to leave baby alone and go off and do something else. You need to be there with baby the whole time. And it's actually really interesting to see their reactions to different things. And you can also describe what they're doing, and it helps that bonding time with baby. So you do need to be there for the whole time for these activities. But they should be baby-led, so you shouldn't be interfering too much. You shouldn't be kind of showing them how to do it. They need to discover and find and feel for themselves. So for a 0 to 6 month old baby, you're going to need to choose the object for them to explore. I would still make up a box the same way as I would for the other age groups, because then you've got a mixture of things for them to look at, and judge what they like or what they dislike, and try and name the emotions. So if they've got the whisk, say, and they put it in their mouth and they don't like it and they make a funny face, try and describe what's happening. Oh, you've got the whisk, you don't like that. But really let them discover it for themselves. Watch them, see what they're doing. It's a really interesting time to see when they're trying new things. It's really interesting to see their reactions to new things that are happening and new things that they can find. For the next age group, so 6 to 12 months, so this age group, they should be rough. Obviously all children are different, but kind of sitting up. They might start to be crawling, some will, some won't. Have the box there, so have your safe area that you're playing on a mat or wherever that might be on the floor, and put the box down. And this is the age where they can actually go and start exploring for themselves. So let them go and pick which object they want to explore. Try not to interfere too much. Sit and watch them. talk to them while they're doing it. So talk to them about what they're doing. So describe what they're doing. So obviously don't try not to ask questions, because at this age they can't reply back. But they might start verbalising, and they might start babbling, and they might try and start making those words. And even though you might not be able to understand what they're saying, listen. So make sure you go quiet and you listen, and then reply with something in a nice tone. Don't worry about too much about talking. Let them discover. Try not to fill the empty gaps with your talking, but you can describe. Just put in a couple of little description words about what's happening and what they might be feeling. 12 to 18 months, so it starts to get a bit more tricky at this age. They might be up and about by this age, they might be walking around, but you'd still make the box up the same and have the box there for them to discover. But by this time you can start really thinking about a theme for the box. So today obviously I've used the kitchen theme, but you might have a theme of things that roll, or things that make a really loud noise, like musical instruments, and things that rattle, or things that make a noise. You might choose a colour theme, so then you can start saying, look, everything's green, and you can start building on their vocabulary and their colours. You might choose natural objects. So at this age you might be able to start thinking about using feathers and pebbles, all of these things that you can use, and I'll go through a list of perhaps things that can be used in treasure boxes at the end. They will probably want to communicate a bit more with you now, so still let them do the exploration, but if they want to chat to you, then obviously chat back. But it's, once again, watch their reactions with all of these. So some babies will take to this more than others, and some will only want to do it for a very short amount of time, and some will want to do it for longer. It's really important that you do it at a time when you're both relaxed. So maybe after nap time, when you've had a cup of coffee and a bit of a quiet and a sit down, and baby is in quite a relaxed mood. Try not to do it when they're tired, because they're going to get cranky. Because it's new and it's using their brain, especially for the younger age, it might make them quite tired quite quickly. So their attention span might be quite short for these things. So things that you can use into a treasure basket. So you can have natural things, so feathers, so large feathers. If you've got feathers for crafting, you can use large pebbles, shells. If you've picked up shells from the beach, you could use those. Things like rope, wooden bracelets and necklaces, something leather, ribbon, soft things, soft scarves. So you can have a different range of textures, I would say. So nail files or sandpaper. So obviously, once again, you're not leaving them unattended with these. You're supervising the whole time, but it's good for them to feel those different textures. Greaseproof paper that they can scrunch up and listen and hear. Bubble wrap that feels soft and squishy, perhaps a piece of velvet if you've got some velvet, or different textures of cloth. So think about the textures, think about colours, noise, all those things can all be included. So just a reminder, so use a range of things in the box, in the treasure basket, that baby wouldn't normally come in contact with, and it can be sort of 6 or 7 different items. Make sure that they're not too small, so that they're not a choke hazard, and so that they haven't got pieces that are going to fall off and become a choke hazard. Think about different textures or noises or colours, and if you want to come up with a theme, then that's great. This is something you can do perhaps a couple of times a week. You can do it daily if you've got the imagination to do it every day, or if baby only sticks with it for a couple of minutes, and just do a couple of minutes each day and build on that. Use it as a time to bond and connect with your baby. So watch what their reactions are. It's really interesting to see them explore and find something new and watch their expressions, and have a lot of fun with it. Okay, see you later.